With basketball season finally coming to a close, our season of fast-paced music, drumline cadences, and all 6 Rah Rahs finally come to an end. For me personally, this is kind of bittersweet. As busy as football and basketball season gets, leading the band was something I really loved doing. Mind you, I've done this for the last 3 years of high school with no plans to do it in college. As fun as that sounds. Since no current juniors were drum majors this year, this coming fall will feature brand new drum majors who hopefully were already exposed to what it's like to lead the band in a fast-paced environment. While this video is to help them later this year, it could also help the drum majors that come right after them. Timeouts and halftimes come fairly quick, so it's important to stay ready. Speaking of which, for context, a timeout in sports is when there's a break in the play, allowing for the team to rethink their strategies. Depending on the sport, timeouts usually last from 30 seconds to 1 minute, so users have the chance to play a stand tune to keep the crowd energized. This brings us to the Rah Rahs. As you may know, there are 6 different Rah Rahs available for you to choose. They each have their own level of intensity, so it's important to pick one that matches the intensity of the game itself. If the game is just getting started, kick it off with Rah Rah 1. Yearning for the crowd's attention? Use Rah Rahs 2 through 4. Don't forget to always call out the song you'd like to play beforehand. This is to avoid the band not starting together or playing the wrong song. It's also important to note that the cheerleaders have chants for each of the Rah Rahs, so feel free to work with them as well. Whenever a big time play happens, you want to make sure you pick a song that fits the moment. Do whatever it takes to keep the student section hyped. Depending on the sport, quarters are treated differently. For basketball games, we almost always play the Hey song in between quarters. As for football, Mr. Van or Mr. Albert calls a drumline cadence. The band usually takes a break during the third quarter, so feel free to grab a snack from the concession stands and enjoy the game. The only quarters you don't play Hey song or any drumline cadence for are second and fourth quarters. Tonganoxie has 2 fight songs. Notre Dame, which is from the University of Notre Dame, and T-Town, which is a song written by Mr. Van, arranged for the Chieftains. Despite T-Town being an original, we play Notre Dame a lot more. Once you lead the band down from the school and onto the football field, you play Notre Dame. When you walk into the field before the national anthem, you play Notre Dame. When the team scores a touchdown, you play Notre Dame. Even after the game's over, you play Notre Dame. You won't play it as much for basketball games though. The only times you play it are when the team runs off in the locker room and after the game is over. It's a nice short and sweet fight song that honestly just works for a marching band. T-Town is played after the national anthem, when a team runs out onto the field, anytime the team makes an extra point or a field goal, and when players shake hands after the game. It's also played after the team's introductions. Be sure to set a quick tempo to get as much music played before the refs start the game.
1, 2, 1, 2, ready, and...
Like I mentioned before, our pregame routine involves playing Notre Dame while marching onto the track. Before walking onto the field, players will still most likely be warming up, so have the band relax on the far side of the football stadium. As the players start coming off the field, line up in your pre-game formation. To cue the band goes as follows. Band horns up, forward march. From there, you'll start playing Notre Dame. Play this song twice, and once the band reaches the bottom of the numbers 50 and 40, run to your podium and take your hat off for the playing of America the Beautiful and the national anthem. T-Town is played following that. After the fight song, pick up your hat and run straight into the bleachers just above the student section. Mr. Van will lead the band directly in front of the students, which is where the rally begins. This is where you will have to be at your absolute loudest. The student section will already be making a ton of noise, so in order for the band to hear you, scream at the top of your lungs.
Again! 1, 2, ready, play!
Lastly, like I mentioned before, you'll play T-Town as soon as the team runs out from the tent. Basketball pregames are a lot less complex compared to football. Mr. Wren tells the band which songs to play, and as the teams are warming up, we'll play whatever song he tells us to choose. We only play the national anthem for the boys' varsity games, and we don't play America the Beautiful at all. Halftime is the main reason the band is there. As soon as the second quarter ends, start leading the band into the end zone. Make sure that everyone is lined up in the formation that they practiced during band camp. The dance team performs first, so as soon as they finish, call the band to attention.
Ladies and gentlemen, here comes our 2023-24 Marching Chieftains. The Marching Chieftains are performing the music of John Williams.
I don't have any on-field footage, but I can try to inform you on this. Before performing our halftime show, we normally play 3 Chieftain warm-ups.
2, ready, play! Band about face!
However, if Mr. Wren realizes that we only have time for 1 warm-up, we'll just do 1. This is so that we have enough time on the clock to perform all 3 songs and get off the field back into the stands. After warming up, the 3 drum majors will showcase their salute.
Drum majors, is your band ready?
After that, take off your hat and set it down next to the podium with your plume facing upwards. From there, you start conducting just like how you should have practiced during band camp. Getting off the field is very simple. You exit the field just like how you walked onto the field. Call the band to your attention, mark time, but after a few clicks, begin a right wheel turn and face the way you came from. Each drum major will still be on their podium, so as the band starts moving, pick up your hats and run to the front of the band. The band parents will take care of all the drum major ladders and plumes. One thing that's very unique to football. You see, in football, the goal is to get the ball 10 yards past these orange markers. This is called a first down. It might be hard to see where you stand, so do your best to watch the ball or watch the orange markers that move after a play is over. The play-by-play announcer will always indicate when Tongi gets a first down. When this happens, the band plays a little jingle. Make sure to cue the jingle before the players are down to snap the ball. The band also plays at change of possession, whether it's a 4th down punt or a turnover on downs. Do not play when there's a flag or an injury. Just know for both sports, you cannot play when the game is active. In the end, becoming a drum major is a huge role to take upon. As the head of the band, what you do impacts the rest of the group. I know I went really fast, but hopefully you'll get the gist of it once fall rolls back around. Gaining the band's respect may not happen right away, but don't let that discourage you. Always try to have a positive mindset and continue to lift up others even when times aren't the way you'd expect them to be. Time flies quick, so don't forget to have fun and enjoy the seasons you'll spend leading the band.